In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of A Few Good Marks. I am your host, Kieran, and I'm joined by Croft.
Hello.
Alex.
Hello.
Candy.
Hi.
And Willow!
Best
Excellent.
one you've ever
That was the bet, yeah, agreed.
It's
It is
WrestleMania Sunday.
Weekend.
Only my best for WrestleMania.
So today is the first episode in a brand new series that we're doing here on A Few Good Marks, where we take what we do on VintageWatch and we apply it to old shows of the past. What we've done for our first ever show, first of all, each of us has picked one show. So the series is going to consist of the 6 shows that we picked. For our first show, we decided that whoever the winner was for our predictions coming out of Fastlane, we would do the show first, and Candy retained. Well played, sir.
British champion.
So we have started with ECW Heatwave 1998. So Candy, tell us why you've picked this.
It sounded like a good idea at the time.
Okay, so to kick us off.
Because Jerry Lynn was in the opening match, and I thought this is must-see pay-per-view action.
Fair play.
No, I've just heard it's the best ECW pay-per-view they ever did. And I was like, well, let's give it a watch then.
Let's give it a watch. Fair enough. Have you seen it beforehand, or?
I'd seen one match from it. I'd seen the Tanaka versus Mike Awesome match. That's the only match I'd seen from it.
Fair enough. Nobody else had seen anything from it. No, I hadn't either. So, to kick us off, we have Joey Styles in the ring, who is, to quote Alex, Sir Over.
He is. It was strange to see a commentator.
He announced himself, and then waited for his little pop and just smiled to himself. And he brings out ECW champion Shane Douglas, who's injured and is joining him on color commentary, and also brings out Francine. Hubba. No, but actually, she's wearing nothing at all.
Shane comes in the candy shop.
I think Alex wasn't here at the candy shop. Alex doesn't know about the candy shop.
I've seen the picture, but I don't get it.
That was a good picture. We all have 6 minutes to make that picture.
So Francine gives the line just Joey remarks about his new suit costing him a new suit, whatever, it's double-breasted like Francine. To which Francine replies, "Yeah, but I bet that you didn't cost you $6,000 like these." I didn't realise plastic surgery cost that much, to be honest.
Yeah, it's more expensive now. I want my tits doing it.
It's like all the plastic surgeons are millionaires.
I know. Well, fair enough. So
that suit was far too big on Joey Styles for it to be like.
I do that way too much. I go to speak and everyone thinking everybody has had their shit said, and then someone's like, "Oh, actually, something just cut me off."
The best thing is
It destroys my soul a little bit every time somebody else does that.
You can see this video.
It looks kind of like this.
Joey Styles went to the John Cena school of not getting a fucking tailor. You've seen John Cena in a suit.
Oh yeah, suits are far too big on him.
He's got the money to go to a fucking tailor. Why doesn't he do it?
He's going to Primark for his suit.
Yeah, I was going to say, but clearly it's a Matalan or something.
It's not even Matalan.
Aldi.
TK Maxx.
So our first matchup was Just Incredible versus Jerry Lynn.
What an opener!
Yeah, what an opening match. So Just Incredible's posse is an interesting bunch of characters. Scurry Lady Nicole Bass being the standout.
Scary
lady quotation marks.
I mean, if China's clicked anything to go.
Well, oh god, Joey Styles comes out with the best line of the night, on the first match, and before the bell's even rung, and he says, "She should be called Russia because she's so much bigger than China."
Oh,
I just popped for it straight away. I was like, well bloody played, mate. So we had some great reversals to start off the match. Just Incredible really impressed me. I didn't think he could actually wrestle.
He still looks like a rat, though.
Oh, he still looks like a rat, but his wrestling was actually rather impressive.
I had this after I went through it all. This is my favourite match of the whole night.
Yeah, same.
This was my favourite one because, compared to for the time limit that they had compared to the rest of them, I thought they did the most with the time and used it all really wisely. And I've put top rope Frankensteiner was beautiful.
Yeah, I've got that.
Tombstone on the woman, Max, the that is literally my notes.
Excellent. Jerry, I've got it on my notes. Jerry Lynn's speed was really impressive.
Yeah, great.
Like, how old was he at this point? 30 something?
Probably
Must
30.
have
He
been.
probably looked about 55.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he just kind of got. I always remember, like, with Jerry Lynn, like, I think he did a summer series with Rob Van Dam in TNA in
Sure
like
did.
2013, and it was still amazing. Like, he just got better with age.
I think Jerry Lynn
I don't think he ever got the recognition.
One of the
he
most
deserves.
underrated North American stars.
Agreed.
He had a good run in ECW, in WCW, in TNA. And like he's kind of forgotten, but if you all back and watch his matches, he is really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another point about age, just incredible, I believe, was 23 at this point.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I think they mentioned on the commentary he was only 23, and he was really, really good for that age. A bit in the same vein as how good Velveteen Dream is nowadays. Being so young back then, looked like he had a really bright future. Perhaps not. We're just
Moving
incredible.
on. Something actually, this is something like on my notes. It's something we discussed just before we started going up. ECW rules. How do they work?
How do they work? What does it have rules?
My note for this match from Weapons is literally just, it's the first match and they've used 2 chairs and a table. This is going to be a good night.
But it's
If
the way.
anything, I think it took away from the rest.
Because they did it in match
was
one.
like again
used
and
it
again and
so
again,
much.
so it was like the same thing. I was like,
Well, that's
I've seen
ECW
that.
through.
It's like by he gets the
isn't
third match, it's like, another
Yeah.
table
It's
spot.
like I'm
Yeah.
desensitized.
it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think having said that though, like I think the crowd very much demanded it throughout. Like
Yeah.
the crowd is all for Weapons, and they got exactly what they asked for. Having said that, as well, speaking of like weapons and how they're being used and what the fuck the rules are, is Entourage were like distracting the ref and then using the chair. And then just incredible barefaced fucking jawed him with a chair anyway when the ref was watching. So why bother? What's the point?
So as I think you mentioned, was the Jerry Lynn hit a Hurricanrana and Hurricane him through a table on the outside? Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, I liked the top rope Frankensteiner one.
Oh.
Where he
I've
was
got
sat on the rope and then he just jumped up and fucking leaped on him. It was right towards the finish.
It was great.
Fair enough. I
was
might
just before the
remember it.
tombstone.
I vaguely remember. I mean, I watched it this morning, so I probably should remember it. But anyway, there was a tombstone from the second rope, and just incredible picks up the victory.
It was sick.
Really
Awesome
solid
finish.
opening match.
Can I just say that I think that this, going back to what we were just saying, I think that might be why this was my favourite match, because I was so like desensitised when the rest of them happened that I thought, because this was what I had the best reaction to. I was like, whoa! And then when it happened again, I was like, oh, I've seen that. But like the tombstone off the fucking top rope, was it second?
Second.
It was the second rope. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that looked nasty.
Yeah, it was
Really
fucking
good.
amazing.
Excellent.
I
Solid
liked
match.
the difference in styles, which, like, as before the match even started, they were stood across from the ring. And, like, I like Jerry Lynn in his nice black and yellow tights. It's like he looks like a proper wrestler. Then you've got Just Incredible on the other side in his jean shorts and
Yeah.
his boots. And I was like, he looks like more like a brawler. And I think just the attires match the styles and the
Yeah.
characteristics. I was like, they've not even touched yet, but I can see how this is going to go. And I think I quite like that as well.
It's something that's kind of been lost nowadays. I think everybody looks like a wrestler.
Yeah.
Attires don't match styles so much
Apart from
anymore.
Ambrose.
Apart from Ambrose and suppose Reigns.
Ambrose, the wacky fella, because he wears jeans.
Wacky fella.
Absolute.
I've missed Ambrose being on thingy purely because we've not been able to call him a wacky fella.
I know, yeah.
We were trying so hard to get that
Mental
over.
Levi's.
What?
Whoa,
Oh, he was a tank top. He's so freaking hardcore.
Hasn't even cut his hair, mate.
Other brands of jeans are available.
So is that all we've got on that? Really solid
Just a
opening.
little factoid is
Ooh, go on.
this was the 21st match out of a best of 21 series,
Oh.
which had been going on for 3 months.
21
Yeah, he
matches in
kept
3
saying the
months.
summer series. He
Yeah.
didn't say there was
Yeah,
21
he didn't say
matches.
there was
though.
21 matches.
That would make it one match every 4 days.
Wow.
I didn't realise it was that long because he mentioned this is the last match in the series. They're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
for
realise
bragging
I
that.
thought like
rights.
5 matches maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
realise
21.
21. That's really impressive.
That's actually, yeah.
Well, you know, by the 21st match, they put on a good one.
Well, yeah. It makes me wonder what they've done in all the other matches.
No,
they were
yeah.
Just did a
doing
bit of nothing, really, didn't they?
Yeah, built into this one.
Roll up for the first 4.
Honestly, one of the best pay-per-view openers I've ever seen. This match. It set up the night perfectly, and Joey Styles is one of my favourite commentators ever.
Oh, I love Joey.
He's fantastic.
He's so good.
I like Joey. I also like Shane Douglas. And talking about underrated ECW talent, Shane Douglas is the longest reigning combined champion and single champion, and no one ever talks about him. In you do your Mount Rushmore of ECW.
Yeah.
ECW. You got RVD, Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, Raven. That's 4 straight off the bat. Sandman.
Yeah.
Shane Douglas.
No, he's never mentioned.
Never mentioned, and he should be.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame. Match number 2 is Lance Storm, Mr. Charisma himself, versus Chris Candido with, holy shit, it's Sonny! I hope she doesn't fall.
Oh, Jesus.
Tammy Lynn Cinch.
Fucking
Chris Candido.
Tammy Lynn Sitch.
Sitch, that's it. not
She
Cinch.
looked dog
Sitch.
rough.
She did.
She looked awful. Oh, Jesus. Like,
Oh, no.
1998 was not a good year to be Sonny, or any year after.
Shane Douglas made me laugh on commentary because in the opening moments of this match, he screamed, "Chris Candido wants Lance Storm's ass!" And I thought it was great.
Yeah, so I've got here, like, I thought the opening to this match was like indie before indie was a thing. There was just like no selling. It was really back and forth type stuff.
I was kind of had high hopes for this, and then I was kind of like
I
let down.
hate it.
Yeah, because I was like, Chris Candido, I've heard he's good. I've never really watched any of his stuff. Lance Storm, same thing. I've heard he's really good, and I just watched it. I was like, this is just.
Yeah, it's
I like
indie
it.
before
I
indie.
like
Indie.
that.
I liked it. I
I
thought it
don't
was a
think
solid match, but I can see where you're coming from.
Lance Storm's a great technical wrestler, and Chris Candido was a good foil for that. But it had the unfortunate place on the card following the first match and wasn't anywhere close to being the highlight of the night. On a card with similar kind of styles, it would have been great. But on an ECW card, it felt a bit out of place.
I thought it was the exact same as the match before.
I felt that
It did feel similar, yeah.
It was
If
like
they
there was
didn't
literally
have-
spots, and I found myself skipping through it. And then I got to a spot, and I was thinking, I've just fucking seen this spot. I'm sure I'm trying to skip through this match. And even the finish, like I hated the finish with the is this the one with the turn with a woman? They used a woman in this match as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sonny
Sonny.
was in this
Yeah.
match.
Sonny.
They used her for the finish, and I thought,
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
she has a-
what they
she has a
did was
thing.
Candido brought powder in, which got knocked up into his face. He got hit with a super kick, and then Storm goes up to the top, but then Tammy Lynn jumps in and shoves him off the top rope. Candido is still dazed, rolls up the referee, and the referee trying
her
to get
top
his
came off,
he
didn't it?
pulls her top
Yeah,
down,
I hated
and
it.
the crowd went wild.
I hated it, but I don't know if that's because I'm modern day feminist. But
It was just trashy, wasn't it?
It
yeah,
was just.
it was.
It was the way that everyone in that arena just went, yeah, when they got pulled, when the top got pulled out.
So well, the match before by like saying, oh yeah, these women are badass. They can take a fucking tombstone pile driver. And then like the next one was like, to use the woman in this one, a top's gonna come off.
Yeah, but she probably begged for that spot.
Yeah.
She probably wanted, I
Oh,
want to get
sorry.
me tits out.
Sonny wasn't going to do anything physical unless it involved her tits.
Or
Let's be
various
honest.
other horrifying.
As her later work.
The finish of this match was a powerbomb off the top rope for the win, which
Nice
looked
finish.
Oh, yeah.
really
Looked
nasty.
pretty nasty.
Looked boss.
Again,
I got this
I
down.
thought it
I've
was
put what a
similar.
match in my notes. I thought this was a pretty decent match.
I quite
I've
like
said
it.
another good match.
It was a good match, but it was just too similar to the first one. Like
I
finish-
can see where I can definitely
finish
see where
was
you're
off
coming
the
from.
top rope again. It was a move off the top rope, and it was the same rope, like same corner.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even attempt to go to a different corner.
Pretty sure
Yeah,
that corner
three of them.
has at least another finish.
Yeah, it does.
As well later on.
Yeah, but that's the hard cam.
Yeah, true.
You
And
could've
if you're
shot
going
one on
on
the
to
left.
you,
Yeah, they've only got 2 cameras.
Yeah, they do.
it's true.
Also, this is Paul Heyman's favourite storyline: feuding tag teams. We will get back to it in a
Oh,
bit.
I-
Yes,
I
he
actually
loves
have
it.
something written about
Chris
the
Candido
cameras.
and Lance Storm were former tag team
That
partners
one? Yeah.
that now are feuding
Camera
over Sonny.
angles are pissing me off.
I didn't mind the camera angles, not going to lie.
In one of the matches,
I've got no
I
on
wrote,
cameras in a
camera
second.
angles are pissing me off.
It's not fucking Kevin
I
Dunn
don't think it was so bad. I don't think they were that
It's
bad.
not where it's
Wasn't
like
the tag match?
80 cuts in 50 seconds,
Yeah,
which
every
apparently did
slam.
happen.
I can see how the
in
tag
WWE
match
recently.
have been
Probably
annoying.
happened last night.
That was
so
'cause they were,
we'll-
like, trying to move.
We'll get on to this later.
Yeah, so after that, there was we were thrown to.
Lance
Was
Storm
everyone
has
finished
a
on this?
beautiful dropkick.
Yes,
Oh, he
does.
does.
I've subscribed to his podcast and he has mentioned that he has a good dropkick. And then I saw, I was like, yes, you have a good dropkick. I'm done.
Okay, good. Sorry, I thought I need to.
No, me too.
Is that everyone good? Okay, so we then get taken to footage in the parking lot, and the Dudleys take out New Jack. Thank you, Dudleys. We then get a backstage promo.
Well, we can't just skip over that.
Which?
The New Jack thing.
We kind of can.
He was attacked in a parking lot, took a few forearms, and needed an ambulance. Axel Rotten was out there like, get this man an ambulance! Like, oh my god, this is New Jack.
ECW.
He's been hit about 4 times. I also wrote, New Jack match was cancelled. Celebration.
Yeah,
emoji.
exactly.
Where was the ambulance for Chastity when she took a tombstone?
He's still at the hospital tending to New Jack.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the New Jack match got cancelled. So,
Thank Christ.
All right. We then get a backstage promo, and it's the tag team champions RVD and Sabu with, oh my fucking Christ, will you shut the fuck up, Bill Alfonso? Oh god, he was so annoying.
My one note for this
Fucking
is Bill Alfonso might be the worst thing in wrestling.
I agree. I love RVD. His promo style was really good. He was like, he'd say something, and then would just reassure Sabu that's not what he meant, and then would say something again, and then reassure Sabu, and then he'd go back on, and then he's still whatever. But the camera angles on this, the zoom, just keeps going in and out. It's like, fucking calm down,
I
mate.
got that for the Dudleys.
It was RVD vision because he was stoned
he was
out of his mind.
high,
the whole time.
No, I've got it written down for the Dudleys a bit later on. They do
it's
promo.
it's the
Bizarre
same.
camera work during Gertner and Dudley's promo.
Yeah,
They're all stood there and just go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's like the
So
camera hadn't
true.
worked out how the zoom function works in the events, and he just wanted to use it.
He thought he was being clever with the volume button.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next match.
They're losers! Japanese losers!
Well, I mean, the less said about that, the better. The third match was Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka. Having watched the One Night Stand 05 match, I was really excited for this. Because that match was, it was kind of the same as to this one. It was just very hard hitting, a lot of table bumps. But yeah, a
lot of chair shots.
A lot of chair shots. So the Mike Awesome hits this big dive over the top rope and nearly lands on his head.
That was nasty.
The big run up from Tanaka with the chair was brilliant.
That was really
Genius.
Absolutely brilliant.
Tanaka surprised me with how strong he is in this match. Just throwing Mike Awesome around like he was a cruiserweight. It was great.
The dueling chairs spot on the outside is a personal highlight.
That was really cool.
I said we
I
were
thought
watching
that
this.
was
We were
stupid.
watching this just
No,
before,
that's
and we said we reckon it's like, right. What we'll do is we'll both duel with chairs. We'll both hit each other with chairs. First person to drop it has to take a chair shot to the back. It's like, yeah, all right. So they just start whacking each other with chairs, and then Mike Awesome drops it. And there's just a sudden look in his face, like, oh fuck, and then he gets kicked in the midsection. Whack.
No, it didn't come off as that way. It was a case of
No, I know. It was
swing it right, then left.
Yeah, I know.
Then right.
Very choreographed. On the point that you made just before, Alex, on repeating spots, the awesome Tiger sit-out bomb, this was the third time
Yeah.
we've seen this move tonight.
Yeah.
And it's the third match.
Yeah.
Seen it in every single match since. The three, how many unprotected chair shots did Tanaka take? 5 in the end, wasn't it? And he still kicked out. What an absolute machine.
I was just like, that's retarded.
Oh, this is
Sure.
Mr. Sensible
This
Wrestling.
is Mr. Yeah, because it was like, it's 5. You take 5 chair shots to the head and not lie down for 3 seconds.
No, but it's ECW as
Do you
well.
know?
And he's Japanese.
Do you know?
He's
And
odd.
they were talking about
It's when
how
he
much
no
heart
sells
he
the
has.
chair shot. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
this
what I
guy's
mean,
tough.
Yeah.
And then when he
It's not
kicks out,
very
you're like, yeah, that's believable. I saw you no sell a chair shot. So if you kick out after 5, like, yeah.
No,
Do you know
I
when you
wouldn't
get a
have-
forearmed in the back? Do you know when someone gets forearmed in the back?
Yeah.
It hurts it hurts more than a chair shot. Chair shots don't even hurt like in the absolute slightest.
Do
So
they
that's
not?
probably they're so nice to take. So it's probably like
Hit me with a chair.
I know that I've
Honest to
taken
God.
a kendo, and it wasn't like bamboo wrapped up.
would you protect yourself though? 'Cause
Was
they're
it
not-
Oh, it was
Oh,
just a
no
straight
biscuit.
shot to the chest.
Oh, right.
Hurt like fuck.
It's just one of them.
I think it's
that
because it's a smaller radius and
Yeah.
it's more velocity coming in as well.
It's just
Yeah,
one of them.
like
I
hell.
just think that maybe they're trying to steer away from the fact because they know that they don't hurt. they're gonna. I think at this point in time, when ECW was such a big thing, it was that point where like you was getting people who was like starting to imitate it, you know, and all that big thing came about like. Please don't try and set
the Attitude Era started to kick off.
And people are starting to realise that this shit doesn't even air. They're gonna start to not protect it, maybe, and maybe that's why he took so many before he like actually started to sell them.
See, this is why we have a proper wrestler on the panel to give intelligent points like this.
I wouldn't have been okay with it if, for the match leading up to it, the commentators hadn't talked about Tanaka's heart. And that was his biggest thing. They were saying Mike Awesome's got his size advantage, biggest advantage Tanaka has is his heart and soul. And I think that built up nicely for them to get battered and still kick out.
Tanaka hit a powerbomb on Awesome to the outside through a table, and Awesome the table didn't even break his fall. He just landed right on the back of his neck. Really how on earth he was able to finish the match?
It was the second near neck break spot he'd taken in the space of a match.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. But then Tanaka hits the Tornado DDT on the chairs from the same corner as the other two finishes. Tornado DDT onto the chairs, and Tanaka picks up the win.
Really good match.
Really, really good match. The thing I found interesting in comparison to this and 05, obviously, in the years following this, Mike Awesome would fuck over ECW hugely. Mm-hmm. So in 05, Joey Styles hates his guts and is just like burying him into the ground. And in this match, he's putting him over so much because at the time, Paul Heyman was like, "This guy's my future." Mm-hmm. Well, we all know what that happened, but it was just such an interesting, I mean, obviously Joey's just doing his job in both senses, but yeah.
My notes for this match. I've got Mike Awesome, just a fantastic combination. He looks brilliant, but also with his he was clearly quite agile with his springboards and his drop kicks. Like I wasn't expecting that going. I've seen this match before and I don't remember that, but it still shocked me. It's like, whoa, this guy's pretty good. And the other one was when Tanaka came out. You could see like all the scars on his arms and on his chest. So I thought, how old is this guy? He was 25.
What?
During this match, and like he'd been wrestling in Japan in the 90s, and that's what caused all these scars. And
Jesus.
Oh my God, this looks disgusting. He was 25.
What did he do after ECW? I don't know.
I know
he
worked in Japan for a long time. He was former IC champion there.
Yeah, he was great in this match. Really impressed me.
Really, really good. Speaking of Japanese, everyone good on that match?
Yeah.
Everyone good. So
Mike Awesome has a lovely theme though. I can't remember the words, but it's something about. No, I can't sing it.
He made his name in Japan or something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, it was good. So the next match is Hayabusa and I'm going to get this wrong.
Jinsei Shinzaki.
Thank you. Versus RVD and Sabu for the ECW tag titles. RVD and Sabu were defending. My first.
Guess what? RVD and Sabu don't get along. It's Paul Heyman's favourite.
My first note is 13 minutes into this match, and this is my first note because I'm loving it. I was honestly so engrossed in this match.
My first note was this reminded me that I fucking love Hayabusa, and before I watched Heatwave, I'd never seen one of his matches, and it's because when I first got into wrestling, I saw Hayabusa, thought, "Wow, that guy's cool." And I've been a massive mark for him since, and I've never watched a match until. But
Mark for this guy never watched a match.
I've had conversations with people like, "Oh yeah, Hayabusa's great." Never seen a match. Just thought he had a cool mask.
Fair enough.
My first note is that the Van Dam Hayabusa section to start the match was a bit sloppy.
Yeah, there was a lot
They
of
didn't really get on
slotches.
together, and then once Shinzaki had been tagged in, then it really kicked off.
Even the crowd got onto it with the "you fucked up" chants and all sorts.
Yeah. Sabu got in and applied a logical, psychological submission. How about that shit? I was like, what the what's going on here? And then my next note is, regular programming will now resume. Sabu dived to the outside. So, we just went off really quickly.
Before I forget it, because it's not one of my first notes, do you know the finish? It was off two different corners. It was not the corner. They used the corner to the left of the corner that the finish had been done off, and then the corner to the right of it. Well, I was so happy. Yes.
Marking out, spot the wrestler, ladies and gentlemen.
That four bottom left corner.
There was only in 1998 there were only a small number of people doing the 450 splash in the world, I think in the mainstream there was only Hayabusa and Too Cold Scorpio. I think there was somebody. I think that's on an Omega DVD, which are Matt Hardy old promotion before he went and joined WWE. And I think it was the commentator who was interviewing it and was saying that Matt Hardy was doing it at like age 19, but like it was so impressive to see at this small rural town in Carolina when there's only 2 other people in the world doing it. So
That's pretty good.
Yeah, huge table spot to finish off, and there's something on this table spot that I told Croft just before. Because they land at different times. If they'd have landed it if they'd have both landed at the same time, if Sabu had hit Hayabusa at the same time that RVD hit the other guy, Hayabusa would have died.
They timed it as perfect as they could have been, I thought.
True, but like it was, but like if they'd have done it at the same time, like legitimately at the same time, the table, the way it broke, if it would have broken in the same way, the table would have gone up like that, and Hayabusa's head would have gone straight into the back of it. The way it raised up because RVD comes in and hits was it Jinsei?
Yeah, I think so.
Jinsei hits Jinsei, and so the table at Hayabusa's end goes up like that, starts to crack because of under the weight, and then under thingy, so he gets lifted up ever so slightly. Then when Sabu crashes down to him, it flattens him out, so it lands on his back. So because of him being lifted up ever so like literally inches. Yeah. And then being brought down at the same time, he was completely fine.
I don't know the match, but they have messed up once, Sabu and RVD, where they both jumped at the same time. The tables broke. I think RVD's landed before, so the tables come up and just caught Sabu in the side of the face, caught just above his eye.
Wow!
Like it would have been, he might have blinded him because he could have just gone straight into the edge of the table.
Jesus!
I don't know the match, but they have messed up before.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because I was thinking when they went up, I was like, I know they messed this up. Is it this one? But it wasn't.
And so they hit that big table spot, and Sabu and RVD retain.
Did you all see Sabu get a splinter?
Yes, I did.
What?
Sabu goes to pick up the table and it's dropped down, and he just goes, "Ah, you fucker!" Gets it in his thumb, and then Hayabusa's having none of it and just hits him with a spin kick, and Sabu's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
I loved Jinsei Shinzaki in this match. He had such innovative offense.
He did.
Yeah,
He kind of like a springboard, Vader bomb kind of thing, and his double rope crane walk.
Yeah, the crane walk was boss.
He was doing things like, I've never seen anyone ever do this.
You know who's innovative with chairs? Sabu and RVD. Oh my word, those guys know how to use some chairs. It was really good.
There was a bell end, Bill Alfonso and his whistle.
Fuck Bill Alfonso!
Piss me.
I'm moving on because we're just gonna get annoyed.
Yeah,
Fuck Bill
forget
Alfonso. Onto our semi-main kind of for the F the World belt. Technically, was Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taz. Mega brawl to the outside. That's my first note.
Yeah, it was okay.
Then my second note is they went through the fucking ramp.
That was cool.
Oh my god! Like the one before the show beforehand, they'd gone through the ring. But the thing, like I think on the it was either in Rise and Fall of ECW or Top 50 OMG Moments of ECW, something like that. They mentioned this spot in the ring. And the reason why it was so like, what on God's green earth is happening here, is because it wasn't the final match. Normally you save that kind of stuff for your main event. But they went through in like the second to last match or third to last match. Mm-hmm. So people were just left with like 3/4 of the ring still to work in and just this massive cornered off bit. And so I guess they kind of wanted to do the same but on a bigger scale. So you go through the ramp instead. So yeah. The Taz hit the Taz mission for the win. I've just got Water Battle. It was just a big old brawl.
Felt like
walk
a
and brawl.
Match,
yeah, but I mean that's what it was kind of, you know, that Joey was selling that all the way through.
Not a bad
These
thing.
two just hated each other, and that's all they wanted to do. So I was okay with that.
I liked how Shane Douglas had a part to play in it as well on commentary.
Yeah, because they
fucking hated Taz.
Yeah, they were feuding at this point in time. So
it was really nice to get that from the commentary booth as well, having a genuine reason to hate one of them.
Absolutely.
And not Jerry Lawler hating somebody just because they're a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason Shane Douglas is out is because Taz keeps attacking his arm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's why he's got the FTW championship, because he can't fight Douglas because he's injured, so he makes his own belt. So there's a reason why Douglas and Taz hate each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that anybody else got any more notes for this?
I've literally got no notes for this match.
No,
not much to say about it, is there?
No,
not
there isn't.
really.
There's the ramp spot. And then there's the Taz mission for the
brawling,
finish.
and
That's
then they
it.
go for a ramp.
That's
And then
literally
Shane
it.
Douglas throws some TVs.
He does.
That was cool.
That was a
That
hissy
made me
fit.
laugh.
And it's time for your main event. The Dudley Boys come out first. Joel Gertner gets on the microphone. Oh my God, why wasn't this man bigger than what he was? Joel Gertner is one of the funniest men ever. He's so good.
Yeah, I really liked him.
He is absolutely
Quintessential stud muffin.
the quintessential stud. Well. Is it hot in here or is it just me? Brilliant. And then Bubba gets on the I think Bubba Ray is potentially one of my top of all time being able to work a crowd.
Oh, he's great.
Unreal. The heat that man gets.
I'd never seen him in ECW. I'd never watched ECW, old ECW, before this. Anything. So I'd never seen Bubba Ray do anything on the mic prior to his WWE stuff, like his later WWE stuff and his TNA stuff as Bully Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice to see he was as good as he is now as he was back then. Like, he's always had that consistent mic skill.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Dreamer, Sandman, and Spike Dudley all come out, and the match is between Bubba, Devon, and Big Dick Dudley against Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and Spike Dudley. Friggin', do you see the oh, so mature.
Big Dick Dudley!
Big Dick Dudley.
Look at the dick!
Didn't he have a move called double penetration or something?
Yes, he does.
That tickled me.
Cheeky deep.
Did it now. Set yourself up for that one. So there was a pinfall exchange from Dreamer and Devon to start, which I thought was quite nice.
I did not.
Really?
Right,
no.
Whoa!
This is my first note for the match. The reason Dreamer's in this match is because the Dudleys broke his fiance's neck. And the first thing he does is pin combinations. No, get the fucking ladders and beat the shit out of these people that broke Beulah's neck. He's like, nope, I'm going to go with a roll-up.
Yeah, it's
Finally, the revenge is mine.
Dreamer trying to get retribution for Beulah using pin counters.
yeah. Well, I mean, apart from that, that happened.
Then it quickly devolved
And
into
then
weapons.
everyone to the outside. It's brawling time. There was a nice four corners drop kick.
Oh, that was great.
Which was boss.
the
They even got the
referee.
referee involved, which is really good. I've just got classic ECW match. It was just weapons and spots and all sorts of
I know.
stuff.
I've got classic ECW tag rules match.
Oh.
Who gives a shit who's legal?
Yep.
I've got a comment. It says,
Does
I
it
forgot
anything to do
how
with double
fat
penetration?
Bubba Ray Dudley once was.
Yeah.
You should see him in
yeah.
Massive
see him in early TNA.
Oh, God, yeah.
Pulling up his
I
jocks.
forgot how fat he was because his last run on WWE.
Yeah, he slimmed down a
he was
bit.
real slim.
He was slim at the Hall of Fame as well,
I
didn't
know.
he?
So my note literally says, I forgot how
There we
fat
go.
he was.
Yeah.
And then everyone-
Fucking Grok, wasn't he? He was massive.
I was like, that's not him.
He used to call himself Calfzilla, didn't he, on TNA?
Yeah.
Massive calves.
Take a look at the
And then
calves.
everyone's favourite New Jack came out. Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and Spike got the win, and that sees us out.
What about the guitar shot?
Oh, the guitar shot.
That was fucking sick.
It's beautiful.
The commentator made this match though.
Joey Styles is a friggin' genius. He's just so good.
My favourite Dudley might be Sign Guy Dudley.
Oh, I love a bit of sign guy.
Every now and again, I'd see what he's doing, see if he's got a new sign up or something.
The innovator of silence. I just think he's such a nickname. What a nickname. Yeah, so that is that for Heatwave 98. What did we all make of the show?
Bloody good pay-per-view that was.
Good shout.
I'm interested to see what Willow thinks.
I thought it was only okay.
Oh.
I thought the first match was really good,
Yeah.
and then by the time I got to the third match, I was like, I'm a little bit bored now because I've seen all this. And
I
it
can
just
see
carried on through. It was just brawls, it was just needless weaponry use, and I was just like, they're using the same spots over and over again. I was like, I'm a little bit bored now.
Final point.
Yes.
For the entire, I thought, massively insane show, absolute carnage, hugely entertaining, really enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it. I did. I also enjoyed it.
As someone who's not big on hardcore wrestling, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Coops?
I liked it.
I liked it. Just giving final verdicts.
I hated it less than I thought I would.
That's-
yeah,
I think
no,
that's
really
I think
negative
that's a
going
solid. I mean, given into this, when you heard it was ECW for our first one, you weren't happy
I
at all.
wasn't.
Well, I just don't like ECW.
So I think it'll. So for our next one, it'll depend who's
think that was
champion coming
another-
out of tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, but what if?
What?
What
If he retains, then we'll just go whoever's closest to the top.
I'll nominate whoever's
Oh, yeah,
best looking show.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, one of the reasons I also chose this show is because ECW's talked about a lot, but we probably haven't seen much of it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was like, everyone can see the top 50 moments of ECW. It's like, no, we should actually go back
that's
and
not
watch a show
actually
when
ECW.
they were in their prime.
I agree. I'd really like to do some earlier stuff with where they've got the Lucha Libre on with Ray or Eddie or stuff
Dean
like that.
Malenko and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, absolutely, because that is phenomenal.
Yeah, I might
wrestling.
enjoy that more than I enjoyed this.
Stunning Steve Austin versus the Sandman.
Well, that'll do it for our first ever episode.
Can you cut that up and I'll have it as my ringtone?
Can we get all of our fans to sample that into songs?
instead of breaking the glass, there's just that.
What turned her off? Stunning Steve Austin, or was it the Sandman?
JP, do you hear that sound?
Do you hear that sound?
There's someone going.
Right, I'm bringing this to a close. Thank you very much for listening. We will see you. We will see you very, very soon. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.